All right, what's going on? What's going on? How we doing, guys? How we doing? Mark, your comments keep getting flagged. I don't know why. Sorry about that, Mark. It's kind of messed up there, but hopefully everybody's having a great evening today. This is the makeup for yesterday. Usually, usually we have our lives on Sunday nights after church, and we were unable to last night. So we are here in Key Largo, Florida, and we are in our resort, whatever. Just got checked in a little bit ago, had some supper, and we are here to do an interview. And essentially, I really wanted to do this. And I've mentioned this to Kara some time ago of doing an interview, interviewing her. What's her take been with me being on the road? You know, it's been 5 years. There's been a lot of changes in my life, in our relationship, in her life as well, and we've gone through a lot. And RV Transport has been a part of that along the way, for better or for worse. And so we wanted to just give just answer some questions, getting her perspective on these things, because I know in the past I've had several guys, husbands for maybe many years, say, hey, my wife is scared of me getting into this line of work. She doesn't really know what to expect. What's this about? Just kind of going blind, and that's kind of a scary thing for sure. And I want to do the best I can, do my part if I can, to be able to point people in the right direction. And so that's where I turn it over to my wife, and she can give that perspective that I cannot. So just so you know the format, what we're going to do, I don't know how long this is going to last. It may last a short while. Me interviewing her, maybe longer. I don't know. We've got a list of questions we've been preparing, wanting to ask some really deep questions, some thoughtful questions, really getting into this. And so after I do the full interview, that's when we're going to take your questions or go to your comments. So as of right now, I'm not going to be able to really connect with you guys, go back and forth with you right now. But we are going to just kind of jump right into this and just talk about some things. So yeah, this is if you don't already know, this is my wife Kara.
Hi.
We got married December 20th. I started driving in 2016, February 1st, which is today. So 5 years to the day, I was hired on with Synergy. Again, for better or for worse. And it's been a long 5 years. I can say that in a good way or a bad way, whatever you want to say, but a lot of things have happened in 5 years. And shortly thereafter, I met her. We got to talking, and it's been a wild ride ever since. So yeah, we will go ahead and jump into this. So first off, also one of the formats of this, what we wanted to do was to kind of give a progression of from when we first met and then all the way up until now. So you can kind of see the progression of the last 5 years. And it's not, perfectly timed out. Obviously, life is not perfect. But just seeing the process of us, we literally just met. We started dating. I know many people in this industry, they're already married, probably even already have kids. Who knows? And so maybe this is a little off, but maybe there's some similarities we can help each other with, talk about. Maybe this can be a help to you. So yeah. So the first question we have is, Kara, what was your first impression of me being out on the road when you first met me? What did you think of that? Did you think it was good? It was bad? It was weird? You do what? You're all over the country. What was your first impression?
Well, first I want to say, did you tell them that we did meet online?
We did meet online.
So it was.
We were 3 hours away from each other, Indiana and Ohio. So we did not grow up in the same place or anything like that.
No, So my first impression of RV transporting and like what he did was, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because so he would take a lot of loads to come over to Ohio. And so that was cool because there's many times where, he would come and surprise me or, just things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like that you could take loads going east, like you would, come by, like if you're on your way to Maine or
just
whatever.
Happen to be in the neighborhood.
Coming through. And so that was pretty cool. I also thought it was kind of difficult at first because, I don't see you a lot. I would see you, maybe on the weekends if I were to come to Lafayette and visit. But as far as it was kind of mixed, it was nice, but it was difficult because I wouldn't see you a lot during the week. So it was mostly a lot of verbal communication, not really a lot of physical. I could see him, we'd FaceTime, but for the most part, it was kind of a mix. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Second question. What were your biggest questions with me driving out on the road? What were your biggest how is this going to work type of a thing? What were those questions?
I had to write some of them down because I couldn't remember all of them. So I'm just going to read some of them. So one of them I put down was what's a reasonable amount of trailers to take in a month to pay all the bills? So I was thinking bigger picture of if we were to get married someday, what's some reasonable amount of trailers so you're not killing yourself or you're wanting you're paying your bills, you're making sure that you have all your bills paid. So that how will we set aside quality time for each other? That's a huge thing for me because quality time is one of my big love languages is quality time. And it's not just going to the grocery store and running a bunch of errands. It's sitting down, having an actual conversation. So quality time.
One thing about the quality time that it took a couple years for us to finally understand this, but for Kara, the way she was made, how God created her, her quality time is not 5 hours being smushed together and you're just stuck together for 5 hours. Quality time, 5 hours being alone, it's really quality time for her is a deeper intellectual conversation. It's a connecting of here's where I'm really at. Here's where you're really at. Okay, well, here's where we come together. And so for us to come to that point, it took a while because it'd be confusing, especially starting out. We just spent the whole day together and you feel what? We didn't spend any time. What are you talking about? And finally, I just kept asking enough questions. I was like, wait a second. This quality time thing, it's not about the amount of hours we're together and we're just alone and that's quality time. That's not quality time to my wife. Quality time is we're one-on-one connecting and we're talking and it's a deep, we're in it together, talking through whatever
solving
it is.
Real problems.
Yep. Yeah. So that's something that was huge for us starting out. And it still is something you can't force that. It needs to be organic. Just us coming together in a conversation and just seeing where it goes. And it usually ends up pretty deep and we just, talk for a while and afterwards sometimes I'll ask, hey, did we connect? And she'll be like, yes. So anyway, so especially at the beginning, that was difficult.
The other one is it worth the money for all the maintenance on your truck and wear and tear on your vehicle? So essentially, you go out and take all these trailers, and I'm you got a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle. You have to maintain it. which leads to my next question of how much time are you going to be spending working on your truck when you come back home? Because it's like, okay, you're on the road all week. Maybe you take a couple loads, take like a day trip or two, take another one that's like 2 or 3 days or whatever, and you come back home for the weekend. And, you know, I work a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week. So I'm busy during the week. And, you know, the weekends are pretty much the only time that I have a lot more time on my hands. So I would think, okay, like, are we going to even be able to spend time together on the weekends? Because, you know, you have to work on your truck to make sure that it's running, operating properly, making sure that everything's good to go for another load, which obviously is super important, but you have to really prioritize, which we've had to learn that is like prioritizing, like, what do I need that's essential that needs to get done, but then what can wait? Like, what's another project that I can have that I can do another time? So.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning, especially because I am not a mechanic. I am really, really, really not a mechanic. At the beginning, the amount of maintenance I was doing, replacing things as I really started to rack up the miles, the amount of time it took to just do those simple things was so long. It was just so difficult for me because I'm just an idiot.
That's terrible.
I had no idea what I was doing. I would cause a second problem after messing something up. And so for me, at the beginning, it took a lot longer to do these simple things. And I would just say, well, I've got to get this stuff done. And I don't want to pay somebody else to do it because I'm just throwing my money out the door. I want to learn these things now so that I can get better at it later. So where I'm still not having to pay somebody, but now I'm faster at it. Maybe I'm more efficient, cost effective with all sorts of different things. And so at the beginning, man, my profit margin was probably the worst at the beginning of a business, starting a business. My profit margin was just the worst out of the last 5 years. It was probably the first year because, man, I just did not know what I was doing. And I was taking all the time when I was home on the weekends, I was taking up a good majority of that time working on my truck. If we weren't at church, I was working on my truck or I was sleeping. That's pretty much how it was for a good portion of it. So that was very challenging to something you just said, being able to what can wait and what has to get done now before I even go out even on the next load. For me, I always lean more towards, well, everything's a priority. I've got to get this all done. Well, Daniel, you settle down. Basically just shut up, stop. The sky's not falling, the truck's not falling apart. There's things that have got to be done. There's things that can wait a little bit longer. And so that was a learning process for me. She probably want to knock me out. It was challenging, seriously.
Not that mean.
So
knock you out.
No, she probably could though. Let's see here. Was that all the?
Yeah.
All that? Okay. So what were your fears with me being out on the road? What did that? If I was going on the road, what would you be fearful of? Was there anything you would be fearful of with me being gone?
Obviously, the biggest thing is getting in an accident because you can be as safe of a driver as possible. But everybody knows that there's those drivers out there that just don't pay attention. So my fear is always, like, I've had times where you've been on the road and I don't hear back from you and I'm like, are you okay? Like, can you just send me a quick, like, hey, I'm good? Because, obviously anything can happen. So the other thing is missing out on family stuff because of unforeseen circumstances, which I can share like a good example, just being kind of real and raw with you guys. So before we got married, and I've been living in Lafayette, Indiana for like three and a half years or so. And so I remember we were going on a family vacation with my family, and we were going down to, I believe it was Tennessee, and something had happened to his truck. I can't even remember.
I can tell you. If you guys remember the story I shared quite a while ago, 6 of my wheel studs sheared off on my dually on the right side, and I had 2 lug nuts holding on 2 wheel studs that were half shaven off. And so at any point in time, those 2, because I did not retorque my wheel studs or my lug nuts, whatever, after I had a tire change or a rotation, and so I didn't notice it was still perfectly fine until I got literally to my house, and I was like, I'm wobbling as I'm coming into the property, like what? And yeah, it was really, really bad.
Yeah, so that was like, we were supposed to be going to, so I had already left town to go be with my family, and he was going to come and just follow. Well, that didn't happen because of the issue with his truck. And so I was not very patient in that situation because I wanted him to be there, obviously, with our family for vacation. And so that's, my biggest fear is that, like, kind of almost having a pity party of, like, crawling into my own little pity party of, well, let's just not plan anything because, who knows what's going to happen. And so I think that's, a big fear is, like, just missing out my own priorities of wanting to essentially say, well, you shouldn't have let this happen. Almost kind of taking it out on you, which I've done before. Another thing too, like a fear, I guess, would be like you're too tired to do anything when you get home. You're on the road all week, or maybe you have like one break a day. Like if you're home for one day, then you go back out on the road. Like there's stuff that like I need help with. Now that we're married, it's like we have stuff to do on the house, and so I'm thinking, what's wrong with you, Daniel? Like, wake up. I need stuff. I need you to help me with this stuff. So, being too tired to help out with things around the house. Being broken down in the middle of nowhere with no help. That's obviously a huge thing because you could get stranded at any point in time with your truck. And so not being able to, which I don't know if you've shared any stories, but you've had a couple. Well, I know at least one major one where you were just like stranded, and it was pretty scary because you were like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know where I'm going to get this help, and so just things like that scare me because, it's just scary stuff. And also to like financial downfalls as far as like your truck blowing up, like obviously before I met you, because we started dating in, we started talking in March 24th, 2016. I
had just got the Ram 3500 on March 8th of 2016. So, 2 weeks and some change. And so going from a 79,000 mile truck, which is basically no mileage at all, to then starting to have things happen later on. That was the difference.
I mean, your truck blowing up, it's out of your control. There's so many things out of your control that happen, and you have to just be patient and try to just take it one thing at a time. Like think, okay, like what can I do? There's always something that you can do regardless. And if it was me, I'd be panicking. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't be able to do the driving job, but I support you 100% because you've been through a lot when it comes to being on the road. Like I wouldn't be able to keep it together. I would be like, I'm losing my mind, So yeah, that's been a huge thing. I think that's the only other thing I wrote down was just, like the biggest things that I thought of. So
yeah. If I could just say on the other side of that, by the way, if anybody's just tuning in, what I'm doing here is interviewing my wife, Kara. We are going through a list of questions that we kind of talked about before this to maybe help maybe your spouse or your significant other, with getting into RV transport, or maybe you're already in it, and maybe your spouse would like to hear another person's perspective who's maybe not in. What am I saying?
Not
Who's not in RV transport? Whatever. So that's what we're doing right here. So we're going to be answering some of these questions here, then we'll get into the chat a little bit later on. But just to kind of add on to that, for me, being out, when I am on the side of the road and my transfer case is in shambles, or my injector's blue, or a number of other things that are maybe smaller that have happened. I definitely know, as the person doing the job, when I'm out there literally alone on the side of the highway, it can feel very alone. It can be very discouraging. Absolutely, it can be depressing. But I can tell you, over time, as more and more things have happened, one of my first, besides safety and those things, contacting her and telling her, hey, here's what happened. Here's the bill this time, or what it's going to be, down the road, whatever. And just getting the support from her that she, and we'll kind of talk through these things a little bit later, but seeing the support from my end of this, that she's kind of grown into being able to be that encouragement from far away. When I am just sitting there like about to light a match and set my truck on fire. Not really, but
Don't do that.
but yeah, a lot of those things. Fear can be pretty intense. Next question. What is the toughest thing you have had to do while I've been going out on the road?
Well, I would say having to, now that we're married, it's kind of like running the whole house essentially, in a way, where, just having to take care of things while you're gone. Probably the biggest thing, which is more being honest and vulnerable, because I struggle a lot with being patient, and it may not seem like that, obviously, from just not even knowing me, but it's, I remember like when I first moved to Lafayette, and I remember like just completely breaking down all the time whenever like a Sunday night when you'd have to go on the road, and I would just break down saying like, I can't do this, because I had just moved from living with my parents. And so I was on my own, I was living in my own apartment. And so it was kind of one of those things where I had to be pushed out off the deep end a little bit and like try to start swimming essentially. So I know that we've talked about it, but I've definitely getting there as far as like being patient and understanding in some of the areas, when something doesn't go, kind of going along hand in hand with unforeseen circumstances, when those things happen. Like being patient, understanding, even when plans change, not blaming you when something's out of your control, when something happens, because at times, it feels like I'm on my own essentially. And now that I've been able to be on my own before we got married, I have learned how to be independent, learned how to kind of be on my own. And not saying that I'm not saying that to say like I don't need him, but I learned how to just take care of things. And so, which has not been easy at all. He's had to take a lot of the, I don't know, it was just very difficult. So I think, for other like men out there that are, maybe like your significant other, or your spouse is like, I don't think this would be a good idea. It's not for everybody, obviously. You have to really sit down and evaluate, is this a good thing for our family? Like, would this be helpful in the situation that we're in our circumstances? And so, obviously I can't sit here and say like, well, if you really want to do it, who cares what your wife or your spouse, whoever says, obviously you got to sit down and talk with them about that and really consider what you are able to do, because like you've talked about many times, every driver is different. Every person can handle so many things. So it really is about the needs of your significant other, your spouse. Like, what do they need in that time frame? There's been many times where, you have not intentionally taken I say that right? Not, yeah, you haven't taken in loads intentionally because of whatever circumstances are going on, or maybe there's something going on with me or you or both of us. Like really, that's why not to like jump into the next subject, but that's why I've grown to appreciate the business itself because of the flexibility it has to offer to just, I mean, literally you just can do where you want to go, what you want to do. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that it's, on your own time essentially. So, yeah, I don't know if I got off track with the question, but yeah, so that would be like how to answer that question. I think that pretty much answered it, I would say.
Gotcha. Are we on?
5.
Oh, yes. So, hopefully I'm being a good interviewer here. Wait. So, what am I saying?
What am I saying?
Oh, dear. How has me, and let me say this right, how has me being gone on the road affected our relationship, dating, and then also being married now? And we've only been married for a month and some change now, but how has that affected our relationship, do you think?
So obviously kind of what I touched on in the beginning, where the dating aspect, even when I moved to Lafayette, where Daniel is at and where we're at now, but a lot of verbal communication, more so because of the distance. I never thought that I'd be able to be with somebody that was distance relationship. I mean, it's like three hours from where I was living, so it wasn't like terrible, but obviously God brought us together for a reason, and so I was able to get through the distance of all of it. But I think, I don't know, I'm trying to like think how the best, because I didn't write anything down. I was trying to think of. I think I'll just say, like, with like marriage too, with how we're at. Obviously, we're newly married, so we're still like learning and growing through that whole process. But I think what makes it neat now being married and you being on the road is that, like, you have somebody, and you can probably speak to this on your end of things, how you perceive it, but being able to like come home to somebody, like not just, well, I'm coming home to an empty house, like, just being able to know that like someone's coming home to you safe, praying safely, knowing that like we're working together financially. Yeah, I think just dating was a lot different, just because we were kind of still we were together, but we were, on our own. Like, my bills are my bills, your bills are your bills, because I was living on my own. So I think that having that stability with your job and knowing that like we're now being able to work together through the financial aspect of the job, and knowing that you can take a break when you need to, if you know that if we know that our bills are being paid, so I don't know if that answers the question. Being another thing, I guess I did write something down here. Like being intentional now that we're like, with the difference between the two with dating and then marriage would be, not that we weren't doing this before when we were dating, but we kind of had our own schedule. Now that we're married, it's being more intentional about like, hey, talking through scheduling, like what's happening, doing things together, not planning things like, oh, by the way, this is going on. Oh, you never told me that? What happened? Like trying to be good with actually scheduling things together and talking through things. That's obviously a work in progress, but I think you do a pretty good job. But
yeah, from my side of it, because of how RV transport is, yes, we do get to choose where we get to go. When that's going to be. we can pick up the phone on Monday, get a load for that day or the next day or whatever. And for me, I really was in the habit of just kind of doing whatever I wanted to. And I kind of had my own routine. I would do, as I mentioned, I think a couple times at least, my old routine where I would do a Monday and a Tuesday load, about a 600 to 700 mile run going out east. I'd come back, and then I would do a Thursday, Friday because I had church on Wednesday, and so I do a Thursday, Friday, and so I just kind of had this little loop I was doing, going east and then go west a little bit, and do that, and so that was just kind of my own deal. And now that we're married, because these trips they can go, if you're going, especially if you're going out west, that's a several day block that you're gone, you're unavailable. Your wife needs you for this or that, something happens, your kid, I don't even know. This job, you really have to be intentional. If you're going to be gone, you need to know there's nothing you're going to be missing that's actually important. And so for us, I struggled deeply. She is the planner. She is the organized person. She is the everything. I am not those things. I have to pull my own teeth just to get myself to go halfway there. She probably wants to pull the rest of my teeth here. It's very. I'm not saying nothing. It's very challenging for me. And so for us to get to the point where, as she kind of mentioned, we're scheduling these things out. We know, okay, well, Thursday, this has to happen. Well, that means if I'm going to be home Thursday, which means I need to be home Wednesday night, because there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to wake up at the crack of dawn in Missouri on this morning and just book it back home to be available by then and be like refreshed and alive, actually available, not just a zombie. I need to be home Wednesday night, which means I can't take a load past this many miles, because at a certain point, this many miles is going to be too much and I won't be able to get back home in time and it'll just blow everything up. And so there were several times, even dating, we had some plans going on. It was very challenging that I just didn't think things through. Now I think I'm better. But I really that was a very difficult thing for us, for me, to get through. And now we just basically have to talk through everything. Imagine that. But we really do try to talk through everything. So in case there is something that is down the road, okay, well, I thought the week through. You almost when the Sunday night hits right after this live, on a normal Sunday night live, that's pretty much I'm resetting my brain. I'm thinking, okay, I have 5 days. What am I going to be doing? Am I going to be out on the road 3 or 4 of them? Am I going to be home? What's going on? And so for me, that's been a very difficult process. So, yeah. Okay. So, what's the next question? Again, if you are new to the stream here, I'm interviewing my wife. We're on to the last couple questions before we kick it over to you, and we can answer your questions. She can answer your questions, or we can, whatever. But we're just asking her questions about her perspective, not being in RV transport and being with someone who is. And so the next question is, what are the pros of this driving job? What's you want to do pros and cons? Well, we talked a lot about different cons. What are the pros in your eyes with me doing this job?
Well, I would say that first off, we got paid to come down here at Key Largo.
Booyah,
so essentially,
let's go.
Because we literally were praying. We're like, Lord, please provide just some sort of trailer.
Anything close.
We didn't even talk about, we talked about what trailer would actually be worth the money to come down here, because we talked about, wasn't it Atlanta, Georgia would have been like the best case scenario for coming down here.
Yeah, worst case scenario.
Worst case. Right?
I decided was We left Saturday morning, and so with us getting here Monday afternoon here, if we were still up in Georgia, if we were still up somewhere else, it would not have been worth it. And so I just decided, Atlanta, Georgia is going to be the highest place where we would get a decent amount of money, and it would be worth it, but we'd still be kind of cutting out some of our own time. We would have wasted some time up there still driving rather than being here down already. Thankfully, seriously, I saw the load on the board on Friday afternoon. I just randomly refreshed the button, and I saw Ocala, Florida. I'm like, Lord, you just rocked my world. And I'm like, hello, is this load still available? Yeah. Can I please have it? Boom. Yep. So it was, paid vacation. Essentially, if it works out at the time of the year, obviously, if it was summertime or more into the heavier season, it probably would not have been a problem to find even multiple Georgias we could have picked from. But even now, thankfully, God willing, we got here.
It's like a 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah, from Ocala, Florida to
Key Largo.
Key Largo, it's like 5 and some change extra. I'm like, we'll take it. That's definitely one of the pros. Anything else you would say?
I think I've already touched on it, but just being able to be flexible with your schedule, like you're not clocking in and out, a 9-to-5 job, like you can kind of work your own hours, and obviously within the range of the company, being able like with synergy, isn't it like a trailer once a month or something?
Bare minimum to stay on the books, to be leased on with them is 1 trailer a month.
Okay, that's what
so that's pretty easy to do, especially because that 1 trailer could be like 300 miles. And obviously I'm doing a lot more than that, but
I would say that's the 2 most like that I can think of. Not being in RV transporting. The pros again would be like being able to intentionally take a load like what we did, going on vacation, using that money to basically use it for the honeymoon. So there you go. Or being able to use that time whenever you want to go on a trip, being flexible. That'd be those 2 probably. Can't think of anything else.
Awesome. So the last 2 questions, we're down to the last 2. We are almost 38 minutes in. Again, if you are just joining us, this is my interviewing my wife about the RV transporting industry. She literally, I started driving 2 weeks before I sent her a message, and it's been 5 years since then. So
this is history.
it's been a wild ride. She's been along for the whole process. So just trying to get her perspective of this whole operation we call RV transporting. So last 2 questions kind of go together, but I'm going to ask them individually. The second to last question is, do you wish that I never went into RV transporting? What do you think?
So in the beginning, I thought it was a huge headache when we first started dating, because I was like, I don't know how this is going to be sustainable, because I didn't really understand. And I kind of was going into the perspective with obviously questioning, is this going to work? Or I was also, sorry, my sock fell off. I'm trying to my feet are cold. Just, is this going to work? And then now that I've progressed and time has gone on, honestly, it's not me. It's definitely the Lord giving me like the endurance to like work through my thoughts through it, because I remember in the beginning when we first started dating, I thought, okay, if this guy is the one, there's no way that this is going to be of me being able to actually like be able to be in this kind of relationship where somebody like this is on the road all the time. Is this going to be sustainable? And And now obviously that I've gone through, I've been able to actually say, yeah, I think that it's worth it. Because again, there's always pros and cons to any sort of job or anything that you're pursuing. But again, RV transporting is not for every single person out there, obviously. But from my perspective, I think that you really have to think, and, being the person that I am, like, the Lord is a big part of my life, obviously. And so I think that, again, the Lord's the one that's been able to get me through this whole time. And so, to make a long answer short, yes, I think that it's been worth it. And I don't know if you want to.
So you don't wish that I.
No, I don't wish.
Or however I worded that.
And I mean, can I just go ahead and
Okay,
another question with it? Or
so the next question, the last question before we go to you guys and talk with you guys, is: do you wish I never started YouTube talking about truck stuff, RV transport stuff?
Well, we were just talking about this on the way back from picking up some delicious pizza here in Key Largo. But anyways, so at first, and I mean, he can definitely testify to this. Being honest, I really, when you first started doing YouTube and then trying to incorporate that with RV transporting, I really wasn't as supportive as I should have been. And I am not where I need to be as far as the support goes, because being a selfish person in some areas, I thought, you're wasting your time. I need help with stuff. Why aren't you're always on your computer editing videos. Are you done yet? What are you doing? And so I kind of thought that it was kind of a waste. And we've obviously had conversations where sorry, anyways, I was just reading the comments. I'm getting distracted. But I'm still working on it as far as being okay with the whole thing, the whole of the everything. But when I think about the bigger picture, and when I think about how it's not about me, it's about his heart and where he's at and what his goals, dreams, aspirations, the whole shebang, all that stuff. Obviously, it's important that, I'm supporting you, you're supporting me. I think that that's been a huge thing from the very beginning, even before we got married, is that, we're supporting each other, we're encouraging each other, and where we are, where our hobbies and things that we enjoy doing and following after those. And I see that there are so many people out there that need help. And I mean, I'm blown away. I jokingly told Daniel, I said, if you ever get famous, please remember me, because, don't get too famous where you're who's care? I don't know who that is. I know that would never happen, but I just had to put that out there. But it's one of those things where having that conversation of, you have always said that you wish that you had people that can help you, and not saying that no one's ever helped you with your truck, but things that you've learned along the way. You have said, I wish that I would have had somebody that would have been able to walk through this with me and help me with all of these things with my truck, things that I've learned in RV transporting, all of that stuff. And then seeing your heart as far as saying, I want to start a YouTube channel because I want people to see how easy it is. Well, I wouldn't say easy because I don't know anything about trucks, but just knowing that you've been able to help people with their vehicles and RV transporting and answering questions and not expecting anything in return, essentially, which is a very hard mentality to have, because we all feel like we deserve something in return. And obviously there's been a lot of people out there that have been super supportive of him. And I feel that because I care about him and love him, I feel that. And so it's just been neat to see the bigger picture of it, like seeing like how many people you've met, how many people, that you've impacted that have, you've told me many times where they've told you, hey, like if it wasn't for you, I would never have gotten to RV transporting, all those different people.
Crazy.
And so, you just look at the bigger picture and realize that there's so many people out there that just need help and you want to be that person to help them. And I think that's a huge thing that that's for me, obviously that's one of the reasons I love your heart and where you're at because of that. And so I wouldn't trade it for anything, even though there's been times where I'd be like, Daniel, get off the computer. Like, in my selfishness, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just so neat, like to see you got like 48 people watching this. Like, that's just insane. Like,
crazy.
I just think that's huge that people are just taking their time out of their day to just watch. Like, that says something about the people that. What's that noise? Sorry.
Apparently somebody is
Sorry.
playing.
So anyways, that's all I have to say. I'll get off of my soapbox. But yeah. So.
Well, I believe that Mark, for some reason, every single thing you say is
weird.
Is tagged for review. I don't know why. I keep hitting the show button, but is it working? Okay.
Huh, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that, Mark. But yeah, so that is the questions we came up with. If you want to ask her questions, ask me questions, whatever.
Somebody said,
Whatever.
Get the salt. That's hilarious. We're shaking this whole thing.
It's definitely neighbors like bowling or something upstairs. I don't know. They're like
floor,
dropping things. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
Get the salt.
Let's see here.
Transport minutes and ghosts.
Oh my word. I don't know where to even start. Yeah, they gotta be like
top.
jumping
Just go
on
back to the top.
to the top. Well, I
It's
think
not that many.
they're having their own conversation.
Oh, okay.
I think mostly. Hello, Mrs. Stewart.
She said, stand up, stupid fingers.
Oh,
Typos.
great content. Hey, James.
Read his right there.
Sup D, sup DSY. Yeah, it's nice to finally face the name. I was beginning to wonder if your last name was Wilson. It's your Tool Time reference here. Oh, that's awesome. Prioritize, that's totally it. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Yes, quality time is the glue, and that quality time may be 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days of truly connecting with one another. Booyah! Transport Bandits, absolutely. I'm on board with you. Tim Davis, for sure. Well, there's just a lot of anyone profit. Yeah, for real. Quality time is so deep. Never sure you miss your exit and end up 200 miles down the road going the wrong direction.
Oh no!
200 miles? Oh man, I think I've done close to 100. Real talk, but yeah, definitely a rough time with that. See, Terry, yeah, I think it's just the water bottle that spilled. Terry, well, they're a happy couple. Awesome. That's really fun too. BTU trucks, no matter how many projects you have and honeydews she has, make sure to set time aside every time you are home for quality us time. Absolutely. What phones do you have, Android or Apple? Terry, we have 2 Apple iPhones. Hey, how do you highlight a name like that, old school and new to us? I think you do the @ sign and then the name. Yeah. AAA for backup in case of a breakdown and need a tow. CB radio also. Oh, good idea. Good idea. Signal, it's crucial to reach out to someone for help. Very good, Mark. I have a tracing app we use. When I'm out of town, I'm in Alabama. I live in New Mexico.
See, that's the craziest thing, though, about just like the way technology is. I think it's amazing, like how, because like we use this Life. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Life 360 app, but it's like a tracking app. I call it the stalker app. So I'm like, I'm stalking Daniel. But there's actually we don't have it, but there's a premium, like a premium
service, whatever plan.
And you can actually, I've heard of people using it. You can actually, if you purchase the yearly thing, you actually can get certain, what do you call them? Certain features.
Notification. Yeah.
Certain features. There's a feature on there for crash detection.
Yep.
And so if
the phone gets thrown,
I don't know how, but
if
there's a crash detection, it automatically calls the dispatcher and they come out and they will take care of whatever. So I don't know. It's just cool how like whoever said something about a tracing app or something. Terry. It's amazing to me how so many different technology, just everything.
Yeah. This is a couple that were so helpful to us to gain information, and basically was a video mentor and helped us so much gain knowledge of this profession. Awesome, bandits. Awesome. Okay, what is the first 2 words you have learned? Now you. Yes. Jeff knows them. Better than win supper. I'm the planner organizer too. That'll make a good team. Kevin, is anyone running a non-commercial registration on their truck for transport?
I think he's asking if anybody's running
registration. I've got my registration's, plated at 26,000. It's a truck actual license plate. I don't know if it's different in other states, but yeah. Mark, see that registration? Yeah. It's like being a trucker's wife. I think there may be changes in the future for you, Daniel. Gotcha. This YouTube thing takes a lot of time. Oh, my soul. Yes. Tim, my hat off to any couple that sleeps 2 in the back seat of a twin mattress.
Nope, not me.
Oh, dear.
Not me.
Yeah.
Give me a hotel, thanks.
Did for 4 months. She just decided to start staying home and just go every now and then. Gotcha, Mark. Gotcha. We do. It's all fun and cuddly until Jeff has to put his shoes on to get out. He just bend that way. That's hilarious. Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're almost there.
We're catching up, guys. Sorry. He's famous, and now you are too.
Yeah. Mrs. HighMileageHelper.
Me. His phone 50 times a day. Daniel has helped me tremendously. His videos have been a blessing. Awesome, Mark. So glad to hear that. RV company doesn't tell you much. They only care about logbooks. Tim, you're kind of speaking the truth here, man. They kind of throw you to the wolves in a lot of ways. Yeah. Very, very informative. Fresh manual. Thanks, Mark. The ghosts get the salt.
It's probably Florida.
Probably. Are you glad you got into the transport business? Am I glad? With a lot of painful growth, with a lot of discouragement and hard times. Just painful growth in every way. I still am very happy. I am grateful that I did get into this industry. on a lot of things, just in my own journey, in my own life, my walk spiritually with Christ. There's been a lot of things that have been put to the test, and I've had choices to make. And without going into everything, I just been a lot of things that really challenged me. Do I really trust God with my life, with my business, with everything, my whole livelihood, all this stuff? And it's been a long journey. So yes, I am glad I still got into it. I don't know if I could say that I would do it all over again, knowing what I had to go through. I wouldn't want to go through it again, but I am grateful that I did. I'm a better person, I think, for everything that I've gone through. Dan and Casey were big influences on me jumping into transporting. Been doing it a month and love it so far. Awesome, James. Awesome. The whole besides the seat goes to the center of the earth. Yeah, because everybody bowls in the resort in Key Largo. I'm just saying, I don't know what they're doing, but they're just.
It was coming from the wall over there,
I
not
thought
up
it was
here.
literally right up here.
Yeah.
Craziness. Was the first video I watched on YouTube. Wow. It's still one of the best channels to get info from. Hey, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. A lot of other good channels, though, for real. I use Life's 360 app, too. Very cool, Terry. Jeff wants to ask, what type of oil and oil filter do you like? Transport Bandits, awesome question. So I use the Rotella T6 5W40. It is a thinner viscosity of an oil instead of the, the 15W40. But what I do is I have the Rotella T6 5W40, and then I put in 2 quarts of the Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. 2 quarts of that, and then 10 quarts of the Rotella. So that's 12 quarts, which is what my Ram takes, the 6.7 Cummins engine. That's what that takes. And then I do the Wix XP filter. If you ask for the Wix, they're going to give you the normal standard mileage type of a filter. The Wix XP is the high mileage, so that's able to help you. Oh dear,
Sorry.
We just scrolled up accidentally here. That's going to give you a lot more. The truth is, if you're able to get, let's say 20, 25, 30,000 miles off your oil, but your filter is toast and the filter can't take that many miles, you're really hurting the whole engine, the whole system, because it's not really doing its job. So that's what I do. The Wix XP filter can go significantly higher than the regular type of filters for about the same price. So that's kind of where I'm at. What I do: the Lucas, the Rotella T6, and the Wix XP. I really like the Wix.
Notice how they didn't ask me because I don't know.
Oh, and I also have.
Language to me.
Yeah.
What's this?
I've also got the multiple oil analysis to prove and to show that my engine is doing perfectly fine. If you want to check out my videos for the oil analysis kit and different reports that I've got those, I believe, in a playlist. So yeah, without going too far into it.
You're right there.
I have a CDL, which is that's $25 or $35. I've been looking at trucks to buy. Steve, great question. So if you have a CDL, really it's up to you. I suppose with the 3500, you'll be able to pull overall a heavier load. If you were a non-CDL, I would say a 2500 is going to be a lower GVWR for the truck, which would mean you would have more of a range for a trailer. But having the CDL, it just depends. Do you want to be pulling monster trailers that pay a little bit more, at least 10 cents more per mile? Or do you want to kind of split the middle, I guess? So if I had a CDL, I guess I'll just say this. If I had a CDL, and I was going to get into this, and I was going to run, constantly, I would still probably go. I would probably go with the 3500. I don't know at this point. I'm kind of changing my tune a little bit, necessarily about getting the dually versus a single rear wheel. I'm kind of floating around for maybe some other reasons, but if I were you, the 3500 is going to give you that potential to go much heavier if you did need to or wanted to. Hi, Kara. Haven't got to meet you yet. However, your husband is a very swell guy. I'm grateful to know him. Hi, Daniel. Wish you all the best and God bless. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. John is a good buddy who I met through just YouTube. Been able to visit him down in Oklahoma and been able to chat with him about a lot of different things, and just a real great guy. So one day we will be able to maybe make our way down there.
I'm a little biased. So.
And
okay.
and see this. So, Mark, are you going to do a video about taxes and what all you can write off? Mark, great question. I'm going to. I just want to make sure that if we can just about write off everything. That's the real truth. And I can explain what everything looks like more in detail. I just want to make sure that nobody takes that as legal advice. And well, Daniel said it, so it's you need to go to a tax professional and get the full story, or even just Google what can I write off for my transporting business. It's going to be a long list, but essentially for me and for you, depending on your situation, I guess you could potentially zero out your income every single year, writing off your mileage, writing off the many other things that go with it. So I will make a video. I'm just kind of pushing it off just because I'm like, man, I want to make sure nobody just takes my word and just goes to TurboTax and just goes nuts. I don't want to be the guy who enabled that person. So I'm trying to think through how can I convey this information without, well, first of all, my bouncing the whole thing here, without somebody jumping off the cliff because Daniel said so. So yeah. 50 now on here. 63. Everybody who's new, this is crazy. I've been interviewing my wife Kara about RV transport, her different thoughts and everything to do with RV transport. So you can go back and watch the live from the beginning. I just interviewed her for about 40 minutes or so. If you don't want to do that, I am going to take this live and chop it up into an actual condensed video and put that out to you guys. So hopefully that can be a help. Crazy. Yeah. 60 plus. That's insane.
Well, if anybody, I know people are asking questions about truck stuff, but if there's questions about, anything personally, I'm a pretty open book. So, if you have questions about anything about my side of things with, supporting RV transporting and what it's like to be trucker's wife, which is weird to say. I'm still your wife. So it's been whatever. But
yeah, if you want to get in contact with her, we can find a way get you hooked up. But Pastor Anthony Lucas started a channel called On the Road with Pastor Anthony. Very cool. Prayers for my journey and what God will have me speak on as I travel. Very cool. Awesome. Anthony, Pastor Anthony, if you can let me know, I would love to help talk through YouTube stuff if I can. Just send me an email. We'll talk on the phone. I think you've sent some stuff in the past. I think I've gotten to you. I'm not sure. Just let me know. I would love to help with YouTube side of stuff and anything I can do. My wife and I wouldn't fit back there. Hotel it would be. It's nice in Missoula, Montana, 42 degrees.
Hotel,
there you
man.
go. There you go. Yeah, the hotel. Tim, thanks to all the drivers for all help. That's why so many people give up. Yeah, there's a lot of turnover in this industry for real. Now your better half could do drive away. Well,
What's that?
that's driving. That's driving the like box trucks and like buses and
Oh,
small
okay.
little RVs and
I don't
stuff
know
like
how
that.
to deal with that.
Yeah.
I can barely back up my car in the driveway, let alone a box truck. And I have a backup camera on my car. So that tells you how challenged I am with driving. So
weekend trucking. When's the High Mileage Helper family growing?
Notice how your face just got really red.
Oh man, that's a great question. We'll find out here. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Well, we all will. I don't know.
Well, you can just say not right now.
Not right now. That's one.
We don't know.
Not right now.
We'll let you know.
Saying that he needs a little helper, Austin.
Where did you go? Oh,
we shot up here. Oh my soul!
Where's all the?
Far. Oh my word! Where is the puppies? TJ, puppies are with my mom and her mom.
Why does this thing keep doing
where
that?
is
It's so weird.
dispatching with my first load tomorrow? Very cool. Very cool, Pastor Anthony. How's also?
He's talking to weekend. They're all
Country
talking
kind
back and forth.
so far good. Anti-gel, do you recommend using it? Mark, great question. I do. I believe I have the, what is it? Oh man, I'm not going to remember it. I've used the Howes before, and I've used, I think it's called Diesel Clean or something. I can't remember. It's not the white bottle. I don't remember what it was. For the most part, it's not that bad.
Sorry, I'm just reading ahead.
But yeah, they really are playing. They are bowling up there.
They didn't invite us.
Yeah, well,
6 feet distance, social distancing. Wear your mask.
TJ, this is what my day consists of.
There's what? Anybody's gonna what?
All of our channels is what TJ's.
Oh.
Me as well. That's great. Great advice and great content. I got a semi truck for sale. Fuzzy. If you guys need a semi truck, go to Fuzzy. They've got the hookup. Kara, Daniel and I talked about a week or so ago. And let me tell you this: he's 100% head over heels. in love with you. Sparking his voice is so noticeable. I'm so happy for both of you. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that.
He likes my back scratches too.
Oh yeah, she's.
You're shaking the whole thing.
Oh yeah, we're shaking.
Probably don't appreciate the camera.
Well, she can scratch my back later as well, so it's all good. Keep your marriage God-centered, and there will be nothing you can endure together. Many blessings to both of you. Thanks again, Sean. Appreciate that, man. Hey, we'll have to talk again soon. Late to the show, we'll rewatch when it ends. Pro Charge Mopar, man. It's about 40 minutes of my wife giving us the juicy details of transporting all that. Let's see. My face is hurting from smiling. This has been a good time.
It's not smiling. Smiling's not good for you. I'm just kidding.
Put us in with their class of teachers. Man, that's how. Hey, man, we're all in this together and just helping people out. Lucas, luck to you and God bless. Be careful what you write off, especially if you want to buy a house or even a car. They don't like seeing a loss. Keith, yes. That's one of the things, as I said, technically all 5 years I could have written off. I could have shown zero. I bought a house, so there was a couple of years where I had to show income to be able to get that going. So definitely there are differences with those things, and it really can get kind of that's okay. Giving tax advice gets a little sketchy depending on the situation. If I were to say just zero everything out, or that's what they took from what I said. If they end up doing that and then they try to buy a house like you just mentioned, I don't want to be that guy who could have said something but didn't. So that just kind of scares me. 63 views currently. Wow, yeah, still craziness.
Wow, people are still watching, man. Not that entertaining.
I'm gonna check out your channel. Have fun, man. Very cool. Very cool. Bandits, was my playlist today. Thank you. I will definitely be in touch. Awesome. Any way I can help. Super happy to get here tonight. Just wanted to point out that you ditched us last night and we had to eat Chili's without you.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We were
in the heat of the road, trying to like not die.
We were barely into.
No, we were at
8:15 normally. Would have been yesterday. We were
about an hour and a half away from
the drop off from Ocala, yeah. Which you guys will see in the vlog. That's not this one, but the next one. I'm 2 vlogs behind. So we're time warping here, whatever. I don't know, but I'm terrible and I need to edit. But yeah,
you're kind of on your honeymoon. So,
well, there's that.
I mean,
so yeah, you get it when you get it. Let's see. Question for Kara: as you are one now, do you combine incomes? So his is yours and yours is his.
Yes. To answer your question, our incomes are combined, which has been really helpful because I work at a outpatient service. We do MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, some more extensive scans, and so I have been there for a little over 3 years now. I think almost coming up in August will be 4. So I've been like working my tail off, literally, when I've been living on my own because I have student loans, and so because I have my bachelor's. So yeah, I mean, we do combine our incomes. It's nice to have that because now it's one of those things where, I'm not trying to I worked so much overtime, additional, just to basically pay off my bills, which I've survived obviously because I'm here now. But I think it's really, I don't know, everybody's got their own opinions. I personally believe that when you get married and you are one, your incomes are together, my money's not my own, oh, sorry, Daniel, this is my money. I'm working for myself, but we're married though. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where when you're one, you're married, all your incomes together. We talk about, financial things. Our washer went out before, basically a couple weeks before we left. We had to get a new washer. It's one of those things where,
oh yeah,
pull money out of savings a little bit and having to pay for that. We combine all of that, and it's very helpful to have the incomes together.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and besides all those completely valid and good reasons, I just don't want her working like a slave, going berserk at work. If I could, I wouldn't want her to have to work at all, only if she really, really wanted to. That's my goal going down the road, things that I'm doing. And so not only it's our money, I feel like not combining our money is almost like a plan B. We're close, but we're not that close. And there is no plan B. There's no other options I got.
If we go down, we go down together.
We're sinking or swimming together, and we're going to learn and grow, and it's going to be painful, and it'll be great, and it'll be wonderful. So yeah, we got to catch up here, I bet. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, y'all are super cute. I wish for you many happy years together. You're so dang cute. Hey, I appreciate that. He can help build a room.
Can't back up either. And
it's okay.
Twice your age. Hey, amen.
Twice your age.
It's funny because my dad is a UPS driver, and literally he has taught me how to drive, and I just can't. I'm not good at it. Parallel parking especially. Just take me out of the game. I'll park somewhere else.
What are we doing here? That new video.
Let's go.
Transforming. I just watched yours. Giddy Up, let's go to Idaho. In our opinion, tune in for the next one on the beautiful Columbia Orchard. What is it? The chinchilla mic you mentioned. I was going to comment on that. That's hilarious. Your chinchilla mic. That's so funny. Oh my word. Heavens.
Sorry, I'm ahead on the comments for you.
Oh
and
my
I'm
word.
just
Am I getting toasted here?
No. Chris James said, "You heard it here. Smiling is not good for you. Gotta love it." Oh, that's funny.
Started on Friday, RV transport, and my girlfriend wants to go on the road full time with me. She lives in travel, and I think it will be so much better. You're by my side. Do y'all travel together? Because of her job, she's 9 to 5, or was it 8 to 4:30? Really don't. This is the first time she's gone on more than like a day trip. And what I call a day trip is I leave my house, I drop off, and I come back home. She's gone on a couple of those with me, but nothing overnight. So this is the first official multi-day deal.
Your experience with being on a longer trip is more bathroom breaks more often, because
which requires.
I don't understand how you can go 10
patience.
hours without going to the bathroom, but whatever. Drink 2 gallons of water and not home to the bathroom. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a couple more bathroom breaks. It's all good.
David's on there too.
Oh,
there he is. It's you.
Should we get?
Sorry, I'm getting
transport minutes, and she was like, "That's gotta be us." Love all the RV transport channels. Awesome.
Wait, you skipped one.
I just watched.
Kara, we'd love to see some videos from you. Transport minutes.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I guess my question is, what videos would you want to see? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not very entertaining. I don't think I am, but
we'll get her started on a full channel.
Mr. and Mrs. HighMileageHelper.
What a bunch of muffins.
David.
That is my big brother, David.
That's my
I don't know if he's still on the video here, but thank you, bro. Love you. Oh, man. Has that new mattress working for you? I'm so jealous. I went on the website and started checking it out myself. Mark, dude, oh my word. This mattress is magical. It is almost as good as my bed at home. The Utopia from the Tashka, however you even say it, that bed is still awesome. Even with Ryder sleeping, he'll curl up in a ball in the corner, and I'll sleep still diagonal. I love it so much. Usually I wake up at least once or twice at night, but with this bed, I'm waking up with my alarm. So all I gotta say is it's an awesome bed. I got nothing but good stuff to say about it. You two are awesome. Hey, thanks, Chris. Mark, that's true teamwork. Great looking out for each other. Yep. Kara, as soon as we were married, we became one. Also means one combined income. Good call, in our opinion. Yep, absolutely. When is the baby coming? Thanks, Craig. Appreciate you. Not now. TJ, when I started this, they told us to just go straight. Oh, just go straight driving down the road. That's not a whole lot of hope. Always keep playing each other, mostly because it's harder for her to get in a good swing when you've got her hugged up. Whenever my wife goes, we definitely stop to tinkle more often. That's when she isn't sleeping.
Sure did.
Oh, my word.
I took a nap, woke up.
Dave Ramsey gives good. How much
student loans? We were talking about student loans and how I have to pay off.
Yeah.
I had my own. We were talking about one income, and it's. I have student loans. Well,
I do as well.
I went 2 years to a private Christian college, which I had half of my school paid for because I had scholarships and grants. The school at the time, I think it's $40,000 now or something, but I think at the time it was $34,000 a year. So I had about half that paid for, and then I transferred back home and did online. So I think I don't even know where I'm at. It's definitely more than 20 for sure. But
At the moment, they're deferred with everything going on, but
Dave Ramsey. Yeah, Dave Ramsey's really good. My brother, actually, I have some financial. Is it called Financial Peace or something like that?
Financial University, Financial Peace. Yeah. Thank you so much. Joseph Young, it's been so awesome tuning in to see your progression. Congrats on the success, bud. We've come a long way from a couple of college roommates smashing chicken nuggets on Fridays.
So wait, is that somebody?
Bro, this is my freshman roommate, freshman in college. My first roommate, Joseph, Joe. Man, that is so hilarious. Every Friday we'd be hitting those nuggets like it's nobody's business. Glad to have you here, man, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. That's hilarious. It's great when it says up how big you need to dig the hole in the backyard. Oh, dear. Oh, my word. We have to set up my backseat similar to yours. My dog thinks that he owns the backseat. I'm telling you, Chris, Ryder does not play games, although I don't either, so we just got to make it happen. Yeah. Let's see. Wife says that my money is hers. Her money is hers. That I would get an allowance if I was good. Have not had an allowance in a while. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Well, I hope you get an allowance soon, man. George, I'm glad I found you here on here tonight. I was bummed when I couldn't find you last night. Thanks for sharing your evening with us. Thanks, George. We are on our honeymoon. This is the first night in the hotel or in the resort, whatever that we're at. But this has been something that's just been on my heart and her heart. She's been kind of eager to do this. She doesn't know what's really involved, but wanted to just give information and share and hopefully be a help to anybody. Anybody you know that has a wife or has whoever that's kind of on the fence or this kind of stuff, share this video with them. I will be putting this out as an actual video, really condensed, so they're not watching we're at an hour and 22 minutes. I'm going to try to just do the first section and really smush it together for someone to be able to watch and be able to handle at one time. So yeah, hopefully this can help, and glad to be help. Just keep practicing, and the baby will tell when he or she is ready to be on you. Okay.
Why does everybody ask me about a kid?
Oh, be on YouTube. Oh,
wait, YouTube.
Magic 8 Ball before your next live just to help answer all those baby questions. Oh my word, for real. Kira, is the weather nice down there?
It is currently, I think it's like 68 maybe. With the sun down, it's a little chilly.
Yeah, it was honestly really, really windy though. I think it was earlier I looked, it was like 20.
That. This is our.
Tilt it down a little bit. Oh. Maybe that'll give the.
That's our view.
Booyah.
From our back port, like this door back here. Like that's the patio. We have a private patio.
Yeah, it was like 25 sustained and about up to like 35, 38 with the gust. Like so that was fairly serious earlier. So glad I was not loaded. But we're all caught up on the chat. I know we got 50 people in the house. Is there anything else you guys want to ask? Ask Kara, ask me, us about transporting in general or anything like that. You'll have a great honeymoon, make some good memories, and keep the shiny side up. I'm going to bed. All right, TJ, have a good one. And appreciate you stopping in and chat with us.
It's insane.
51 people. Yeah, again, I think we might just cut it off here. This seems like a good place unless people start popping on here.
Oh, she asked if I liked the picture. Oh, my goodness. That picture, when Daniel sent it to me, because I was at work and he had went and picked it up at the office at Synergy. I was like, oh my goodness,
crazy.
I showed some of my friends at work and they were like, wow, that's so neat. I was like, yeah, we'll have to find a place to frame it. We haven't.
Oh man,
the house is still in progress mode of putting things away and organizing. So once we get that organized, then we'll be able to put up like pictures, because I love you, Daniel, but he's been there for a year and hasn't put anything up in a while.
I don't do pictures.
So
I don't do this stuff.
I have lots of decorations, so I'm ready.
She has all of the decorations, everything.
So we'll have to find a special place to put the picture. We'll find a place.
We're currently like ripping the house apart and then redoing it in small little sections, kind of a thing, with the whatever it's called, the pantry in the house. So yeah, we're getting it put together, but there's still lots of boxes everywhere. Thanks for the great videos. Hey, thanks, Life in the 701. Appreciate that. Awesome. That's what we did before COVID killed our festivals. Yeah, I saw your. I think I went to your website, or I saw something. Have a lot of things on there. That's awesome. But I saw the thing on the back, the authentic. I can't say the right word. Certificate of authenticity or whatever. Read that whole thing. That's super cool. Oh man, we're really popping off here.
Wow.
Whoa.
Like people are saying.
I don't decorate either. Yes, man, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. Bare walls is fine.
What?
Thank you both for everything. Absolutely. Get ready to. I've had me hang all kinds in the new house. Donnie. For everybody, I believe this is the same Donnie who I met in the Walmart parking lot, and a really great guy. We chatted there for a while. I may do another meetup with a lot more warning in advance, but I believe Donnie, he's a good guy. Kara, talk to me until I have.
Wait, what?
Kara, talk to me.
I don't know what he's saying.
Until I have in the morning. The right away person in the.
I don't know what he's saying.
I'm not sure what. Donnie, can you say that again? Am I reading that right?
No, that's Terry, not Donnie.
Oh, Terry. I'm sorry.
I don't know what he's saying.
Sorry, Terry. I don't know quite what you're saying. Congratulations on your marriage. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. James Porter. Good night, guys. At 3:30, wake up in the head of Goshen times mighty early. Get to sleep, James. Get some rest, man. Have a good one. All right. Gotcha. Monkey hoops. Love them up.
Look them. Oh, great for monkey hooks.
On the wall. Okay.
Interesting.
Thank you, BTU.
I just use like command strips and stuff like that usually, or like really.
Yeah, because I know all about those.
Help me put all stuff on the walls.
Bless you both. Stay on the roads. Thanks for all the information that you put out, Daniel. Awesome, Tim. Appreciate that. Yep. Just try to help. That's me. Yes, sir, Donnie. Very good. Really should take advantage of him being on the road. Paint, rearrange, nest.
Yeah. Daniel, where's the...
Is this the right house? The whole house is pink.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
Oh, dear.
Not pink.
Delightful. This has been fun. Awesome.
Becoming YouTube starlet.
I'll help you edit the video. It might take forever, but yeah. Well, I think we're at an hour and a half. Still 45 people here. You guys are insane. You guys are awesome.
It's like
hopefully,
9:45 at night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. I think we're going to shut it down for this live stream. We're just so very grateful that everybody tuned in. Really hope this was a help to you guys. especially anybody you know who this might be a help to, please share it with them. It's not about just getting the High Mileage Helper name out. I genuinely hope that couples and families can get some help. I've heard horror stories at truck stops from guys who just say, "Oh, my old lady is just a da-da-da-da-da-da. I'd rather be gone and on the road and don't even see her." And man, I got a problem with that, and my heart just kind of dies when I hear that. And so, addressing these kind of things, this is a part of the industry, relationship stuff. It's just too important. This job is not worth losing your marriage over, your kids over if you have them. It's just too important, and this is just something that's been on my heart, been on our heart for some time. And so, if we can, if you want to reach out to me or Kara, if you send an email to my email, I can get you in contact with Kara. At the subject line, if you want to speak to her, just put at the top of the subject line of the email. Just put for Kara or Kara something, whatever, and that would be Kara. If you would want to speak with her, I will get that to you. I don't know why I've got the hiccups or the burps, but we're gonna shut it down for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. Until next, we're going to be here. We'll be driving Sunday. I don't know if we're going to be doing a live next Sunday. If we are, we would have just gotten home from Florida here. So stay tuned. If I'm home and I'm still vertical, I will try to maybe do one. We'll see how we feel. It could be late. We'll see. So anyways, with all that being said, hopefully you have a great day, a great night. Stay safe, guys, and God bless.
See ya.